This is the complete Haru build guide in 6 minutes or less. Start the timer, let's get right on into it. Haru is a Psi AoE damage dealer that has a 3-turn rotation to get the most out of her damage. This means she requires a little bit more attention than most characters, but it's still pretty easy to set up. Let me just explain how exactly it works first. In order to understand exactly how rotation works, you need to understand all of this text in her A0 passive, but honestly, let me show you while we go over this. For Haru's ranged attacks, she doesn't have a pierce damage weapon like most of the other characters in the game do. Her ranged attacks deal psychokinesis damage to all foes equal to 66% of her attack. When she uses a skill, she gains 1 thoughtful round stack, and it stacks up to 3 times. Each thoughtful round stack increases the damage of the ranged attack by 20%, 40%, and 50% respectively. If she is at 2+ thoughtful round stacks, she also increases her attack by 25%. What this ends up meaning in practice is that you want to use 2 of Haru's skills and her highlight because that also gives her a stack. Haru's skill 1 deals psychokinesis damage to all foes and has a chance to inflict target audience on every foe hit, a higher chance to the main target. And target audience ends up being important because it actually buffs Haru's other skills. And also, it ends up giving Haru focused round, which focused round, when using a ranged attack with target audience, she increases the skill damage of her ranged attack even more, making it nuke even harder. Haru's skill 3 is another AoE Psi damage hit, dealing psychokinesis damage based off of a percentage of her attack. And when she has target audience, once again increase the skill's critical rate and gain 1 of spillover round stack. Spillover round also buffs her ranged attack's damage when you do use it, buffing its damage even farther once again. And the final skill you end up using on Haru is the highlight skill, which is also another AoE Psi damage hit, who would have thought, and gives her overload round. When she does use her ranged attack, she increases her critical rate. And if she doesn't have any overload round stacks, she'll increase this highlight skill's damage even more. Haru's first passive gives her more attack based upon her element accuracy, and increases her critical damage by 20% for every 50% of element accuracy she has, stacking up to 3 times. This means you want to end up getting Haru to 150% element accuracy, just for note. Her second passive makes it so she gains area to improve stacks for each thoughtful round stack she gains. The first stack increasing her element accuracy and element resistance, the second stack increasing her attack and defense, the third stack increasing her critical damage. What this ends up meaning is that Haru's ideal rotation ends up being skill 1, highlight, and skill 3 into her ranged attack, skill 1 into skill 3 into her highlight plus ranged attack again. And for your skill leveling priority, it would be skill 1, skill 3, and your highlight all being of equal priority. Skill 2 you can level up if you wish to, but you're not going to be using it often. Now, as for her awarenesses, as typical, she has some pretty good ones, but you don't need any of them unless you just really like the character. Then go ahead, do whatever you please. Haru's awareness 1 gives her more attack based upon her target audience stacks. If you really like the character and just want a little bit more power out of her, this is a good place to stop. Her awareness 2, Haru's A2, when she has 1+ target audience stacks, she decreases her own damage taken, and when at 3+ target audience stacks, she increases her psychokinesis damage by 60%, again just making the ranged attack even more of a nuke. Haru's awareness 4, overload round enhanced, this will increase her ranged attack's critical damage by 30%, and as for Haru's awareness 6, it's a long one. It changes just about all of her passives, makes them do even more. If you were going to pull the A6, I think you were going to pull it anyway, whether or not I tell you to or not, but if you were to go for it, it is a pretty big damage increase. If you really like Haru, you won't regret it. Now let's move on to Haru's weapons. Her 4-star weapon being this little axe here. This weapon increases Haru's attack and increases her attack and element accuracy based upon each foe with a debuff. If you're a free-to-play player and someone who just doesn't really like pulling weapons, you can use this one, but her 5-star weapon is obviously going to be better and it has a lot more effects. This weapon increases her element accuracy by a whopping 36%, which helps a lot with reaching that 150 element accuracy threshold I was talking about earlier. And when she deals psychokinesis damage, if she has target audience, she increases her psychokinesis damage by 24%. Also, for each thoughtful round gained, she increases her attack by 34% for 1 turn. It is quite an upgrade to the 4-star weapon, I will admit. It's not necessary, but it's very, very helpful. Now, as for the teams you can run with Haru, you actually do have some options. Her favorite lineup right now would consist of Seaside Tomoko and Cord. And you can run her with most navigators. Futaba works, Phoebe works, Wind works. As for substitutes, if you don't have these characters, you can always run her with a different sustain, like Marion or even Lufel if you really need to. And as for substitutes for Cord, just put in Leon. That is, of course, like I said, if you don't have the more premium options. As for Personas on Wonder, you want to be picking up Shiva from the exchange shop. This persona is literally built for Wonder to support Haru. And as for Wonder's weapon, you want to be having him on the Starry Compass, which is the new Wonder Dagger that just came to the game. Again, just built for Wonders to support Haru. Now as for Haru's Revelation cards, you're going to be running her on 4 Pleasure with a Wisdom Universal card. The 4 Pleasure set effect. When she deals Psychokinesis damage, she increases her attack. And if more than 3 foes are on the field, she increases it even more. The Wisdom card attached to this also makes it so she increases her damage by 50% of her alien accuracy, just making it so she gets even more of a benefit for having AA on her. As for the stats you want on these cards, of course your Sun is always going to be HP. Your Moon, you're going to be looking for damage mult. Your Star, you're looking for alien accuracy or crit rate, either or works. And your Sky, you're looking for attack percent. As for the substats you want on these cards, your first priority is going to be alien accuracy, followed up by more offensive stats like crit and pierce. And then for your third priority, if you really can't get anything above it, attack and more damage bonus does work as well. And that was your complete Haru build guide in 6 minutes or less. As always, if I did help you out, consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video because it really does help me and the video out an absolute ton. That's going to be all from me. I'm out. Peace.